So what he's really trying to say as we talk about these gifts is you cannot earn them. These gifts are gifts not because we have done this and therefore I deserve this from God. It's actually not dependent on character. And this is quite crucial because sometimes people are put off seeking and desiring these gifts because maybe they have heard or read about somebody who's maybe particularly gifted. This tends to be the case. Maybe in healing or the prophetic, somebody who can maybe hear God's voice and be able to tell you your bank card details, but their actual life is in a mess, and maybe some of the views that they have would not be seen as traditional biblical views. However, having a gift does not make you spiritual. If you want to have a great example of that, there's a lovely story in a book in the Old Testament called Numbers where God speaks through a donkey. He gives a prophetic word through a donkey. It's not dependent on your kind of gifting, your character. This is God's goodness to us. And this has often caused confusion in the church, the Christian world, because it sometimes doesn't seem to make sense of how we think God should act. But my conclusion on reading lots of the stories and seeking to learn from the good of some people that God has used in amazing ways, particularly in the gifts of healing and prophetic, yet being aware that their lives in so many ways don't line up with what I would think following Jesus looks like, is that God is so desperate to see these gifts used and outworked that he's willing to give them to anyone who is willing to ask for them and takes the steps of faith to outwork them.